Hi, everybody. JP here. Um, Wanted to do something a little bit different, at least for me. When I post this, it will be August 17th, will be my 17-year sobriety anniversary. Um, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about addiction and about sobriety and recovery and a little bit about my journey so far. I know this is a little bit different than most people know me as the quiet guy who just kind of hangs back and listens or whatever. But I do have a lot to say about some things, and recovery is definitely one of them. But I count August 17th as my sobriety birthday and my anniversary. It's when I went to a place in Covington, Georgia called Damascus Road Recovery. And I've often called it the Paris Island of recovery programs. But I was so bad off that I needed something intense. Um, and so August 17th, 2007 is when I went down this gravel driveway to a to a to this recovery program, this residential rehab program. I went down this driveway for the very first time on August 17th, 2007. And the person that went down that driveway, um, I can't even put into words how lost and hopeless I was. Um, things were just things were so bad. I was destroyed. Alcohol destroyed my life. And I was almost dead in every possible way that a person could be dead. I'd lost everything. I'd pushed away loved ones. I pushed away friends. I burned all the bridges. I lost my job. Couldn't go to work. Just decided. Got up in the morning and decided that I was going to get drunk instead of going to work, and thought that I was going to be able to keep a job that way. Didn't call in either. I mean, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to bother calling in? Um, and in a lot of ways, that person is dead now. I did have to die um, to be reborn in a real sense of the word. But I wanted to talk a little bit about recovery. And the people that actually saw me arrive at Damascus Road Recovery, several of them I'm still friends with today. They saw me, um, and they can testify to the fact that nobody would have given me a chance. If you had saw me, you would not have given me a chance. But I wanted to talk a little bit about addiction and about alcoholism, and it's something that I do know quite a lot about. Um, and first of all, um, alcohol, alcoholism and addiction is a disease. It fits all the criteria of a disease. The three criteria is that it's primary, progressive, and fatal. And primary is being that eventually it's going to take precedence over every other problem you have. It's going to be the worst. And progressive is that it gets worse over time, never better. And fatal, if you don't do anything about it, you're going to die. That's as simple as I can put it. You are going to die. And and I'm here to tell somebody that it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to you don't have to let this thing beat you, but it takes work, and you need help. You need to ask for help, and so it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to fix everything at once, and I can tell you that the only thing that helped me was the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's the only thing that helped me. And I know that a lot of people think it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. You know, I did too. I mean, I discounted it. I always thought, oh, the people that go to those 12-step meetings are weak. And, you know, I used to go to AA meetings to get enough BS to make people think that I was, you know, doing something to, you know, I didn't intend to get help, but I used to go and I would sit in the meetings and I would look at these people. I'd look around at these people and I even gave them like little nicknames. And I just was really like judging everybody and in my mind, you know, I I can remember thinking, you know, I really wish Fluffy would shut up. You know, so I wasn't in there for the right reasons, and you got to go with an open mind. And another one of the things that happened is that, um, and it does say in the program that we all look for an easier, softer way, and there's sometimes no easy, soft way to do it, um, and it's hard. The you know working the steps is really hard, and you know one of the things that I tried to do was I grabbed a hold of the church like it was like it was a like I was a drowning man, in which I was. And so I went to church and they prayed for me and you know slapped some oil on my head and um and I could feel it. I could feel the spiritual. I could feel something spiritual. Um, but they just told me to go sit on the pew, you know. I mean, and I'm like, what do I do now? And so it's one of the things that the director of Damascus Road Recovery at the time was a gentleman named Butch Scruggs, who let's say had a colorful way of putting things sometimes, and I'll leave some of the colorful words out. But he used to say that deliverance without discipleship is pointless, and I really do believe that. I believe if I believe that the power of God can deliver you from anything, but you have to walk in it. You have to learn to walk in it. You have to be, you know, like I said, you know, what now? And I believe that we serve a what now God. We're not supposed to stay anywhere. You know, we're supposed to go. We're supposed to go forward. And so, um, I believe, you know, I believe deliverance without discipleship is also dangerous. You know, because people can go all kind of different directions if they don't have enough knowledge to act, uh, you know, appropriately. And so, my thing about deliverance also is that when you're delivered, you're going from somewhere to somewhere. Um, and so, like when you order a package from Amazon, you know, they deliver it from the Amazon warehouse to your house. And sometimes package don't make it. Sometimes it gets damaged. Now, see, I'm preaching now, so don't shout me down when I'm preaching real good. And that's I want to give a shout out. That's a line of a really good friend of mine, really old, dear friend of mine named Scott King, Bishop Scott King, who is the pastor of a church in Anderson, South Carolina called Judah Church. And I wanted to give Scott a shout out. That's one of his lines that he always used to say when he preached. So a lot can happen from delivery to arrival, and so everything in between is what's the most important, I think, or it's pointless. And so another one of the things that really hurt me early on was that the Christians didn't really have a very high opinion of Alcoholics Anonymous. And now, Alcoholics Anonymous was started by Christians, and it was a Christian organization early on in its early. beginnings. And at some point, they decided that it shouldn't be a Jesus only club, and that everybody had a right to recovery, to find what set them free. And so a lot of things that the Christians have a problem with AA because we constantly refer to ourselves as alcoholics. I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had anything to drink since 2007, but that does not mean that I'm not still an alcoholic. If I drink again, it's on. It's going to be bad, and I have no doubt in my mind that I won't survive if I take just one drink of alcohol. So I got to live with that, So I have to constantly remind myself that I'm an alcoholic, and that's one of the reasons we do that in Alcoholics Anonymous is when we speak, we say, I'm JP, I'm an alcoholic, um, and so they also in AA, like I said, AA stopped being a Jesus only club, and they started referring to God, which is God is a very big part of recovery. Um, he, I call him he, but your concept of God it's really to let yourself know that you aren't in charge of anything, that JP don't run anything but his mouth, right? And I'm not in control. And in order to get sober, you have to give up this notion that you have in your head that you control anything, because you're powerless. You're powerless over alcohol. You're powerless over your life. The only thing that you can change is your perception. That's the only thing you can change. And it's all about the way that you look at things. And that's one of the things, and one of the big things that always helped me in Alcoholics Anonymous is the passage in there that where it says that acceptance is the answer to all my problems. Um, you just have to accept that things are the way they are, and the serenity prayer. You change the things you can, and accept the things that you can't change. And so that AA was never meant to be church, I don't think, and I think that a lot of the church people really just don't look at it the correct way because of that. And if I just do wish that the church would embrace Alcoholics Anonymous again. And I always tell people, that no matter how, I drank most of my adult life, and I got deep into the wilderness. I got just and so I always try to tell people that, no matter how many miles into the woods you go, there are only 12 steps out. And it really does work. And I know that I'm talking to somebody out there, and I would appreciate it if everybody would share this. If you know somebody that has a problem with drugs or alcohol, um, let them know that there's a way out. That's what I want you to know, is that there is an answer. You don't have to live that way. I'm living proof of that. If I can find recovery, anybody can. And things are always things are not always perfect, but the concept of one of the concepts in AA, and I'm going to actually read this from my phone, but one of the things that always stuck in my head and hit me in the heart um, was that the goal is to be happy, joyous, and free. And you know, ponder that. When have you ever been all three of those at once? Happy, joyous, and free. and it's hard. It's hard to attain that, and it's hard to hold on to it. It doesn't always last, but I got a little passage here that I want to read. We are sure God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. We cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it once was that for many of us. But it is clear that we made our own misery. I want to say that again. We make our own misery, right? Um, God didn't do it. And avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery, but if trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate his omnipotence. And that's on page 133 of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And so it's very important that we understand that we don't manufacture our own misery, and that we don't have anybody to blame. You know, God didn't wake up, God didn't come down, you know, in a cloud and say, I think I'm going to let JP get drunk and like ruin his life. I'm bored today. That's not the way. That's not the God that I believe in. And so I I don't want to keep rambling here. I had intended to sing a song here, but I can't get my audio equipment to cooperate with me to sing it. But I wanted to sing a song called "Save Me" by Jelly Roll, and I still will attempt that in the next few days. But the song's always meant a lot to me, and it's just about the helpless feeling. Where he says, "I'm a lost cause. Don't waste your time on me." And that's the way that's just such a big part of the misery of addiction, and it doesn't have to be that way. And I just wanted to tell everybody today that that there's hope, and that to reach out to somebody if you need help. If you have a way to reach out to me, if you're suffering right now, reach out to me. I'll talk to you about it. And that's one of the things that I haven't been doing lately is spreading the message, carrying the message, which is what my mandate is as a recovering alcoholic. I need to go and tell people, and I don't feel like I have to go to meetings to stay sober anymore, and so I haven't been to a meeting in a long time, and ever since the pandemic happened, which the pandemic is such a horrible thing for addiction, I can't even the devastation that people not being able to go to meetings for a while. It was bad. It was really bad. The pandemic and me being an introvert, I just feel things. I just feel like things have been wrong in the world lately, and so I've been. I haven't been myself lately. I have retreated inside myself, and I haven't been a good friend to people. I haven't been a good family member to my family. I don't feel like I have. I feel like I've just been just kind of like in a cave, and that's not what, my health has not been good lately. And that's been one of the things but all of those are just excuses. Um, as long as I'm breathing, I need to be out there. I need to be out, trying to help people. And I never try to hit people over the head with this because I think when people find out my history with alcoholism, they think that they can't talk about drinking or whatever, that I'm going to judge them about drinking or something like that. And I always say, have one for me. But if you're drinking for me, you're going to have more than one because that I never just had one. So I mean, um, I'm not going to judge people for drinking, and I'm not going to try to make you stop drinking. I'm just saying that if you got a problem, and only you can decide whether or not you have a problem. Nobody can tell you. And but chances are, if enough people tell you something, it's true. So you know if you have a drinking problem, you know. And so if you need help, talk to somebody. talk to me, talk, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. As long as you're breathing, you have a chance to change things. Do not let this disease kill you because it will. So I'm going to stop rambling now, and I'm going to stop this. But I just wanted to share this with everybody, and peace and love, and take care.